Hello, I'm Frank Buchholz. I'm the North Langley Community Director for the Greater Langley Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber this year is hosting candidates and posting videos so that you can learn more about them as you prepare to cast your vote on October 20th. The candidates that we are visiting with are from Langley City and Langley Township. With me now is Bev Dornan, who is seeking a term on Langley Township Council. Welcome, Bev.
Thank you very much.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to run.
Thank you. I'm Bev Dornan and a lifelong resident of Langley, a businesswoman, mother, and a grandmother. I'm a passionate volunteer in this community in such groups as the Rotary Club of Aldergrove, Langley Family Services, and I've been the past president of the Langley Chamber of Commerce and the Langley Hospital Foundation. The reason I'm running is to make a difference and contribute to this great municipality. Issues that are important to me are sound planning for housing for all our citizens, including affordable housing, working on transportation solutions, and protection and sustainability of our agricultural land. Development of our commercial and industrial spaces will bring jobs close to home. We have 6 distinct communities with different needs. Inclusive planning with our municipal government and citizens working together will bring about the results that we need. The plans we lay today need to be what we want for 10, 20, and 30 years into the future. I feel I can contribute sound decision making, good governance, and the ability to listen and connect with the citizens, and the ability to make the hard decisions when necessary. I want to get the right things done and done right. Thank you.
Thank you, Bev. And the questions I'm going to ask you, some of them are piggybacking some of the things you brought up in your opening remarks. One of those is transportation, and you, like all of us who live in this area, are impacted by transportation issues daily as we try and get around. What do you see are the highest priorities for the township in the next term in dealing with both transit and transportation?
Transportation is a big issue, and it's not just transit, and it's the local roads, it's working with our other municipalities, because it's not just Langley on its own. We've got, the municipality is responsible for our local roads, but we have to work with Translink. We want to get the fast buses here to Langley. It's in the plan, but getting fast transit to the SkyTrain, getting our citizens to be able to move around is one of the most important items that we have. But we've also got to work on working with the other levels of government to deal with the freeway. The freeway is gridlock in the morning for our citizens getting to Vancouver, and that's working with Surrey, Abbotsford, Chilliwack to try to get the freeway widened. It is in the budget, I think, somewhere down the line, but it isn't on everybody's radar right now. But it is something that, as all these communities grow, the freeway is becoming gridlock, and that's making transportation a horrible issue. It's also about, with the development we have in Langley, it's about the widening of 208. It's getting people up and down and along 200, so we can get up and down to the transit hubs, whether it's the park and ride or when the B-line buses are coming in 2019, it's getting the people moving around. So there's lots of items that we need to work on, but it's not just Langley working on its own, it's Langley working with our partners in the local communities and the other levels of government.
Thank you. And relating to what you were saying about the freeway, housing has become a big challenge, and that's certainly, I think, one of the reasons for the gridlock is more people are moving further out because it's all they can afford. And affordable housing is an issue the Chamber has identified as a challenge. What can you do as a member of council to try to ensure that there's more affordable housing in Langley?
Well, affordable housing is in several different categories. There's affordable market housing, and that would be the densification, and that's where we're seeing the community plans that have the towers and the condominiums and the townhouses that young people and our seniors as well can afford to move into. And the farther you go up, the more reasonable they become. And as long as they are near the transit hubs that were people, so that you're reducing the transportation densification. But I think that's one of the reasons. But I also think affordable housing is non-market housing, and that's for people that can't afford to get into the housing, whether it is the condominiums and townhouses that are out here, but there's also individuals that can't afford those as well. And I think that's partnering with groups in the community, such as the churches and other faith-based groups, and there's a project getting started now in Langley here where they have partnered with a faith-based group to build non-market market housing and using the model where they use a percentage of your income as
Right.
what you can afford. And I think that type of housing is something that the municipal council can partner with. They can eliminate maybe or reduce the DCCs where that housing becomes less expensive. It can help rezone land that might be used for that type of housing. But I think affordable housing, is many different types of housing, and I think the township has to stand up and take part in that. It's not just, everything is just market housing. It's
Right. Yeah, there's more to it than market housing, absolutely. You've long been an advocate for business as a former president of our organization and a longtime business person. What can the Township Council do to make the business atmosphere in this community healthy so that businesses will thrive and young entrepreneurs can come in and get started and we can create more jobs and pay more taxes and just be an integral part of the community?
Well, imagine zoning is, and allowing, whether it's home-based business or other small businesses, just the thrive zoning would be one thing that they could work towards and help facilitate small businesses growing in the community, because a small independent business is the one that's employing a greater percentage of the workforce these days.
Right.
So I think that might be one of the items. The inter-municipal business license, where if you have a home-based business that works in different municipalities, that you can have one business license and easily move around the municipality. Competitive business taxes is another one that, not to say that business taxes are calculated different than the individual taxes, but we have to be competitive, and because businesses can move from community to community, and so that you have to make sure that we're not being too great at taxes, but we want to be competitive with other municipalities so we don't lose our businesses.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Bev.